Good afternoon, everyone. Salam. You're all very welcome to today's COP29 Presidency press conference. Today's focus is on the digital side, a very interesting aspect. And I'm here with Samir Beyanov, the COP29 Presidency Deputy Lead Negotiator, Thomas Lamanauskas, Deputy Secretary General from the ITU, the International Telecommunication Union, His Excellency Rashad Nabiev, the Minister of Digital Development in Azerbaijan, Dietram Oppelt, the Vice Chair of the UNFCCC Technology Executive Committee, and to my right, Jala Ibrahimova, the Action Agenda Lead, COP29 Presidency. We'll hear a few statements, and then we will have time for some questions from your side. Let me start. Mr. Beyanov, you have the floor.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us in this press conference. To introduce myself, I'm Samir Beyanov. I'm Deputy Lead Negotiator for COP29. Mr. Rafiev sends his apologies for not being able to join, as he is currently in important consultations with UNFCCC constituencies. It's a pleasure to be joined by Thomas Lamanauskas from the ITU, Rashad Nabiev, His Excellency Minister of Digital Development of Azerbaijan, Dietram Oppelt from the UNFCCC, and Jala Ibrahimova from the COP29 Presidency, one of the leads for the action agenda. Before taking questions, I want to provide an update on yesterday's negotiated and non-negotiated activities and today's thematic day. On the negotiations, today is the final day before the ministers arrive on Monday. This is an essential opportunity to address as many issues as possible before the final political week of COP29. We have made progress on many mandates. This includes several key priorities, such as Article 6. But there is still much to do. Yesterday, you heard the lead negotiator say that on the NCKG, we were moving too slowly. Today, the parties asked for more time to work on the draft text, and the presidency has agreed and made the time available. Before 3 p.m., the parties need to submit specific textual proposals, and based on these inputs, a new text will be presented. I want to repeat our strong encouragement to all parties to make as much progress as possible. We are doing everything possible to create the conditions for progress, but we need everyone to approach the task with a similar sense of urgency and determination. We now expect to receive parties' work for the week at the end of the day, and there will be a stock-taking plenary. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last few days, some people have doubted whether collectively we can deliver. It's time for the negotiators to start proving them wrong. Yesterday, the lead negotiators spoke about the COP29 action agenda and its energy initiatives to take forward the outcomes of the global stocktake. We spent the day engaging with parties and non-party stakeholders on the COP29 Global Energy Storage and Grids Pledge, and the Green Energy Zones and Corridors Pledge, and the Hydrogen Declaration. These pledges and declarations are being well received, particularly on the need to increase energy storage sixfold and to add or refurbish 25 million kilometers of grids by 2030. We were also delighted to host the Carbon Management Challenge. Here, participants agreed to take voluntary actions to advance a pipeline of projects by 2030 that, when fully operational, will collectively manage 1 gigaton or more of CO2 annually. Throughout the day, we saw important contributions from different actors. We are grateful for the UK's commitment to support clean cooking across sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and the Indo-Pacific. This will help 10 million people leave coal and wood cooking behind with many co-benefits by improving the health of women and girls. We also saw over 50 leaders from the shipping sector agree to accelerate the adoption of the zero-emission fuels. Colleagues, today marks the first ever Digitalization Day at a COP. This reflects the growing importance of digital technologies as both a source of climate solutions and contributors to emissions. This morning, we'll launch the COP29 Green Digital Action Declaration. The declaration commits endorsers to leverage digital tools for climate action, build climate resilience into digital infrastructure, and reduce the environmental impact of digitalization. The declaration has already received 1,000 endorsements from members of the digital tech community and including over 90 governments. And I'm grateful to my colleagues who will provide more information. Thank you all again for joining us. It's my pleasure to hand it over to Mr. Lamanauskas. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bajanov. Thank you for this great introduction to today's Digitalization Day and the Green Digital Action. And it's a pleasure to share, for me to share this panel today with His Excellency Rashad Nabiev, Minister of Digital Development, who chaired this panel today and convened the stakeholders from governments around the world, from international organizations, as well as private sector companies, really around green digital action. As well as, of course, it's a pleasure to share this panel today with Jala Ibrahimova from COP29 President Action and Agenda Lead, as well as Dietram Oppelt, Vice Chair of the FCC Technology Executive Committee. So indeed, as already Mr. Bajanov briefed, we're very proud to have a very strong number of endorsements today. Of actually nearly 60 speakers who today spoke in the panel this morning, which really explain their commitments and explain their very strong support to green digital action. Why do we need it? Because digital industry, as already mentioned, has two sides to it. One is a powerful source of solutions to fight the climate crisis, from monitoring, from climate and earth monitoring, using, for example, satellite solutions, especially powered by AI tools, to mitigation, helping other industries to lower greenhouse gas emissions. For example, there's an estimate that AI can help other industries to lower 5 to 10% greenhouse gas emissions, to adaptation, for example, through those topics as early warning systems for natural disasters, allowing to save lives in the context of natural disasters that are actually occurring more frequently because of the climate crisis. So, Green Digital Action Declaration that was announced today expresses collective commitment of the governments, digital industry, and other stakeholders to really leverage digital technologies to fight the climate crisis, at the same time to take on strict sustainability commitments on ourselves. This commitment is building on the Green Digital Action Initiative that's been launched already a year ago with COP28, which brought together over 50 partners across the digital industry, international organizations on this goal. So today's declaration has a number of objectives or pillars, including leveraging digital technologies for global action on greenhouse gas emissions, such as building resilient digital infrastructure, such as reducing the impact of digital technologies on the climate, as well as making digital technologies for climate action accessible for developing countries, using data to fully understand the impact of green solutions, encourage sustainable innovation, promote sustainable consumer practices, and sharing the best practices for digital policies and technologies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Today's panel was just it was key event, the highlight of Green Digital Action here on today's Digitalization Day. However, in total, we have over this week around 30 events, a lot of them still happening today on Green Digital Action. And they cover different areas from industry emissions to artificial intelligence, both as its negative impacts as well as positive contributions, green data infrastructure, how to use technology standards to fight the climate crisis, as well as how to ensure that we have an accurate climate information and provide early warnings. So declaration is, of course, embeds the political commitment and breakthroughs in this regard. However, of course, the importance will be in the implementation. We're very proud that, for example, today our partner, World Bank, have already announced that last year they tripled green digital investments to $700 million a year and committed to continue those investments going forward as well. Also, the industry aligned around what we call Green Digital Action Pillars are making sure that these coalitions for action are working to embed the Green Digital Action agenda in the digital development. They're working on reducing tech-related emissions. They're working to make sure that sustainability by design is integrated in all the standardization processes. They're working on reducing e-waste. They're working on making sure that emergency communications are available to people around the world who face climate-related disasters, working to make sure that open data is available to measure impacts, as well as making sure that that positive impact of ICT industry is maximized. The most recent pillar on the Green Digital Action is the pillar on green computing, which addresses cloud computing and AI impact on climate. So what's very important for us today, that is for the first time when digital is being put in the core of climate agenda, we really thank Presidency for the first time including digital in the core agenda and actually announcing the first ever Digitalization Day. It's at the same time, that means climate is put firmly in the core of digital development. And now we'll be working, of course, towards the COP30 to make sure that we build on those commitments, including through ensuring that the digital industry and digital technologies are well represented in NDCs that will be presented for COP30, that national adaptation plans integrate digital technologies, as well as that we boost investments in digital infrastructure that enables climate action. So with that, thank you very much, and pass the floor back.
Thank you very much. And next speaker is Minister Nabiev. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. Today's high-level roundtable on the green digital action was a true convergence of expertise, vision, and commitment, providing us with a unique opportunity to shape a resilient and sustainable future of our planet. For us in Azerbaijan, the journey to sustainable future is very much linked with the digital innovation. We do strongly believe that digitalization is essential not only to preserve our unique landscapes and biodiversity, but it's also important to drive efficiency and resilience to make sure that the environmental changes are not that much affected by our pace of digitalization. Azerbaijan, in its own, has made a significant strides in integrating the digital tools for sustainability, and here, by using this opportunity, I'll probably just name some of them. Our e-government platform has modernized public services, not only enabling key life events to be handled digitally from start to finish. Through reduced paper usage, our digital document exchange system not only saves thousands of trees each year, but also eliminates the need for approximately 1 million pages of documents, but also it makes sure that more than 1.5 million of transactions happening every day, which can, as you can imagine, substantially decreases the travel of time spent by our citizens, whether it's in big cities like Baku, Sumgait, Ganja, or in suburban areas. With our next generation G-Cloud, we power digital services efficiently, reducing energy consumption while securing and streamlining the essential infrastructure. Our efforts extend to urban and rural needs alike, the portfolio that our ministry is responsible for. Over the last year, within a very short period of time, within the 7 months, we were able to build a digital twin of the city of the Baku. The project, which actually gathers 6 billion data points from sources like bus routes, metro stations, railway systems, ITS camera data, and mobile phone usage to make informed and, most importantly, real-time decisions. This platform optimizes transportation and reduces emissions, making a direct impact on congestion and air quality on our capital. As we lead the first Digitalization Day at COP29, Azerbaijan calls on nations to make sustainable digital transformation a core course in climate action. I am pleased to announce that all the points mentioned enjoy full global support. As it was mentioned here, more than 1,000 stakeholders have already endorsed this declaration. And I strongly believe that together we will harness the power of digital technology for a resilient and lower carbon future. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Oppel, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm representing the Technology Executive Committee, which is part of the policy arm of the technology mechanism, and the technology mechanism supports with technologies, technology development and transfer, the implementation of the goals of the Paris Agreement. Digital technologies, especially AI, sit at the critical intersection of climate change, mitigation, and adaptation. They offer innovative solutions that can significantly enhance our ability to address climate challenges. The tech fully supports the COP29 declaration of the Green Digital Action Agenda of Azerbaijan and are committed to advancing its objectives. By leveraging AI and other digital tools, we can enhance data collection, analysis, predictive modeling, which are essential for informed climate policies and action. AI enables us to process vast amounts of data, to identify trends, optimize resource use, and develop effective strategies. The tech is actively driving work on AI and climate action. We recognize the transformational potential of AI in accelerating climate solutions. Together with the implementation arm of the technology mechanism, the Climate Technology Center and Network, we have launched the Technology Mechanism Initiative on AI for Climate Action to promote innovative AI applications in climate action. The Tech AI Innovation Grand Challenge received numerous inspiring entries showcasing AI potential in areas like early warning systems, resource management, and emission reductions. It's encouraging to see how AI is being harnessed to effective climate action across the globe. Building capacities in developing countries to leverage AI and digital technologies effectively is crucial. It is important that developing countries, and particularly LDCs and CITs, have the tools and knowledge to implement AI-driven solutions for climate action. Inclusive access to technology is fundamental to achieve equitable climate resilience. Also, the tech acknowledges the risks and challenges accompanying with rapid growth and dissemination of digital technologies in AI, including their own energy consumption. The tech is advocating for sustainable practices in developing and use of digital technologies in AI. This includes promoting energy efficiency for data centers and infrastructure powered by renewable energies, resources, advancing the goal of the global stocktake on those matters. We call for strengthened collaboration between governments, the private sector, academia, and civil society to accelerate AI-driven green innovations. Collective action will amplify our impact and drive meaningful challenge. With the right approach, we can unlock significant opportunities. The tech is dedicated to supporting parties in harnessing artificial intelligence and digital technologies for a sustainable future. We will continue to provide guidance and facilitate collaboration in this vital area. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ibrahimova, please, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you all for joining us today for this press conference. A lot has already been said about the first ever Digitalization Day and the declaration. I will just very briefly say why countries and public and private sector should join this declaration, because this declaration encourages investment in sustainable digital technologies and infrastructure, fostering economic growth while addressing climate challenges. It includes fundings and partnership from MDBs and private sector stakeholders on green initiatives. It also aims to facilitate collaboration among stakeholders, especially among the public sector, to promote knowledge sharing and best practices in leveraging digital tools for climate resilience. By endorsing declarations, parties intend to integrate digital technologies into climate strategies, showcasing their commitment to sustainability and innovation. All stakeholders, governments, international organizations, financial institutions, philanthropists, private sector partners, academia, and civil society I urged to endorse a COP29 declaration on green digital action. I'm happy to take any questions on the content, but I don't want to prolong and to leave more time for the journalists to ask their questions.
Thank you very much. We now take questions for all panel members. If you could please identify yourself, your media organization, and please wait for the microphone. We have two very capable colleagues here who will bring them to you. Gentlemen, second row in the green jacket, please.
Hello, good morning. A question for the Deputy Lead Negotiator, Benjamin from AFP. Two questions. First, does the COP presidency plans to have a cover text at the end of the COP? And second question, last year, the UAE gave a signal on finance by pledging $100 million to the new loss and damage fund. This is climate finance. Will the Azerbaijan provide a signal on finance to help the poorest country in the world to face climate change?
Thank you so much for your question. I think, as we have been saying, this is a very inclusive process, and our expectation as the presidency, and looking at the balance, the mandates that we have, we believe that this package of mandates that we have for this year would enable us to deliver a fair and ambitious outcome in this year. So we'll be very much working closely with the subsidiary body chairs, with the parties, to deliver a fair and ambitious outcome this year. I think our call to all parties is to focus on the negotiations, to focus on the rooms, and try to deliver the expected outcome across the mandates. On the Azerbaijan's leading this process, as you know, Azerbaijan has made, we have always, over a number of cases, declared that the NCQG is our top priority for this year. And the expected outcome from this year negotiations, first and foremost, is on NCQG. We have been working very closely with our partners to help small island developing states and other affected communities. If there are any announcements, then everybody will get an update. As of now, that's not the case. Thank you.
Next question, the lady in the third row.
Hello, my name is Ainura, and I work Hazar TV. I have just one question. What is the biggest role of technology in climate change, and what steps are beginning taken to reduce the damage?
And the question is for who?
Yeah.
For which person on the panel?
Mr. Rashad Nabiev, please. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to talk about it generally, but I can talk about our strategy. There are things that we are doing in an effective way as a government in general, just as we have proven to host this event within the very short period of time that we had for within the very 10 months. We're doing it in a very effective way. The integration of technologies, and specifically digital technologies, into the equation is very much related to us willing to do things efficiently at the same time. So that ultimately we do believe that things could be done in an effective way, but when you bring the efficiency through the technology, it makes it even more attractive for different layers of the society, and ultimately it has the impact on the CO2 emissions and etc.
Anyone else? Yes, please.
So thank you very, very much. So of course, we believe and we see that in practice, that digital technologies have opportunity to help fight climate crisis across all the pillars of climate policy. So we have effectively using digital technologies for climate monitoring, as I mentioned. So satellite technologies and satellite imagery is an important source of climate monitoring, especially powered with artificial intelligence tools. We're partnering with a number of private sector companies to leverage those tools there as well. If you look at the green mitigation pillar, so for example, digital technologies help mitigate damage to the climate through things like smart grids that ensure reduced energy consumption and wastage, through powering intelligent transport and lowering again the greenhouse gas emissions there as well as in different other areas. When you look at adaptation, I think the biggest here initiative that is spearheaded by Secretary General Antonio Guterres is so-called Early Warnings for All, which aims to achieve by 2027 that the whole world is covered by early warnings alerts that help save lives in the disaster environments. Actual estimate is that having access to early warnings actually can reduce the mortality up to 8 times. So now what we do to boost that and as well as lower the damage of the industry, including through the increase of the greenhouse gas emissions, we have we ITU, together with our standardization partners, such as International Standardization Organization, International Technical Commission, but also broader community, have issues in standards, technical standards that come together as an agreement of the global community, means that different private sector stakeholders together with the governments and sit together and agree on those standards. These are examples of our standards, such as standards that set the roadmaps for digital industry to meet the Paris goals, as well as we set the reporting standards for the industry in some specific areas. We as well issue the guidelines, excluding for the governments and private sector, such as our work on early warnings, where we as well issue reports that measure those aspects. For example, our Greening Digital Companies report that look at the emissions of 200 largest ICT companies, as well as the e-waste report that look at e-waste trends around the world. So again, through highlighting those issues and bringing them to the fore, it makes it much more clear. Now, what is very important here, that again, is not like one stakeholder working. Our Green Digital Action Initiative has over 50 partners. Those different partners lead different areas of the work, and they could together to spearhead that work to make sure that we really take an action together. That's not easy. So some statistics on artificial intelligence say that every 100 days, actually, computing power of AI doubles, actually. So that means that energy consumption of AI roughly increases every year around 30%, with that as well as greenhouse gas emissions. However, working together with the industry, we're trying to put a strong limit to that and actually go back to making sure that our net zero plans of the digital industry are really in place and are enforced and help us all to take charge of these emissions as well. So some of the elements here. Thank you.
Yes, let's stay on the same side, a gentleman in the gray jacket.
Hi, Sibi from the AP. My question is, halfway through the talks, a lot of the talks seem to be at an impasse. Are you confident, sir, that of a successful outcome by the end of next week? And it's to the Deputy Lead Negotiator.
Thank you so much for your question. The negotiations are fluctuating. That's a normal pace of the work, and this is how it's usually happening. As I said, as a presidency, we're committed to deliver a fair and ambitious outcome. And we have a robust and clear plan for the next week to lead across all key mandates. And using this opportunity, once again, I want to highlight that this is going to be a collective achievement. So as the presidency, we'll be doing our part. We have been doing it over this year, over this months, with providing spaces and other opportunities for parties to engage. But parties need to show flexibility and constructiveness. They need to work together in that mood so we can steer the process to a successful outcome. I have no doubt on that. Thank you.
Thank you. We have time for one more question. The lady in the aisle. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this. And my question is for Deputy Negotiator. It's about the NDCs. You know, as of today, only several countries have submitted their new NDCs. So what is the presidency doing to encourage more countries to submit more ambitious NDCs? And do you expect that more and more countries will submit their NDCs before the end of this COP? Thank you so much.
May I ask you to introduce yourself?
I'm a journalist from Beijing News. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. As you know, NDCs are the bedrock of the Paris Agreement. And as the presidency, when we came up with overarching plan for this year to enhance ambition and enable action, under the enhanced ambition pillar, NDCs was one of the key elements. Over this months, individually as the COP29 presidents and also with our Troika partners, COP28 presidents of UAE, incoming presidency, COP30 presidents of Brazil, we have been working closely with parties and other stakeholders to support this process. As you know, the deadline for submission of the NDCs is February 2025, and we're calling once again on all parties to submit their NDCs. We are working as the COP29 presidency. We're at the final stages of the submission of our own NDC. As you know, NDC is a very complex cross-cutting process that involves a lot of ministries, a lot of stakeholders. For us, I think one thing that needs to be considered is that apart from timing, another important thing is the quality of the NDCs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me please also remind you, you have received today in your inbox a statement from the Executive Secretary, Simon Steele, ahead of the upcoming G20 meeting in Rio de Janeiro on Monday, Tuesday. Then a few housekeeping points. Tomorrow, the conference center will be closed. In case you would like to conduct work, please come to the media center. You can leave your name. You will be put on the list, which will then grant you access. Then we see each other on Monday in good shape for the second week. Time to be announced. It will be around lunchtime. Exact time, please take a look on Monday. Looking forward to see you and hope you're having a slower day tomorrow. Thank you.